Hello everyone and welcome to the Transit Nomad family. In this video we are exploring public transportation in Belgium. And right now we are about to take a train from Vilvoorde station to Central Brussels station. Before we get started, I'd like to let you know that I'm in Belgium for a couple of weeks, and at the end of this trip I'll be recording my final verdict video comparing Belgium with other countries to help you decide if you should visit, while also saving you plenty of time and money with practical tips on how to get the most out of your trip. This will be an exclusive video, but you can easily gain access to it by subscribing or donating any amount on buymeacoffee.com/transitnomad or through the link in the video description below. With that being said, let's begin our journey. I love the sound of how this train is accelerating.
De volgende halte is Buda.
Let's take a little look around. All the station names are in Dutch, I think. I'm not sure 100%, but some of them are difficult to memorize or pronounce, and it appears that they have different station names in English and they don't always appear on the screen, and you have to kind of memorize their local names. In many cities I traveled to around the world, they have numbers or pretty straightforward English translations that are manageable for use when you get around, but in Brussels it seems like they only use these local names, and it's a little bit not that easy to get around. You have to double check which station name is correct and where exactly you're going. You might need to ask some people to help you get around, because it's not always as straightforward as it could be. Also, I noticed that these commuter trains, they stopped for a while at many stations. They stand, instead of like 15 or 30 seconds, or even a minute, sometimes they stand actually for more than a minute, sometimes 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And also the speed sometimes is a little bit slow. So of course it's cool that they don't have to be stuck in traffic, but I feel like they could be faster if they wanted to make them faster. We'll use my phone. My partner forgot to bring her phone for taking photos. So while we are waiting here, I also maybe should tell you a little bit about paying for these kind of trains and how much they cost. It really depends on the distance where you travel, and you can buy tickets at the station through a vending machine. But if you want to pay a little bit less, you can buy a 10 trip ticket. That's going to give you 10 trips, and then you can activate each trip on your smartphone before boarding the train. Each trip is valid for 60 minutes, and it also gives you the ability to transfer to trams or buses. But 60 minutes is kind of a short amount of time to transfer from a tram to a bus, from a tram to a train. Like yesterday I was riding a tram and I activated that pass, and I was trying to transfer to the train, but by the time the train arrived that was going to my specific destination, my pass already expired. So I had to activate another pass, which really sucks because they are not cheap. Each pass for the specific zone that I'm traveling to, which is just a little bit outside of the central Brussels, it's $3.50 if you pay for 10 of them ahead of time or something like that. Around €3 for each journey, each 60-minute journey, which could be a little bit cheaper, or at least they could give you a little bit more time. In some cities they give you a couple of hours instead of just an hour, especially when it comes to transfers to things that don't run as frequently. Like this train runs, I don't know about this specific line, but I've had to wait for like 30 minutes a couple of times already. So you could do it a little bit better. And also when it comes to paying for transit through the app is not very user-friendly, especially when it comes to visitors who don't know what the logos of each transit operator mean. They have different logos, and you're supposed to change it based on which service you're using, but I have no idea what each logo means, and there's no explanation. So I had to use AI researching that. And also it was not very straightforward that I had to buy this specific pass and not another pass, because there is a cheaper Brussels pass. I forgot, the names are really hard to remember, but it would give you rides for much less, maybe around €2 per ride, but it would not cover this station which I traveled to. It's called Vilvoorde or something like that. So
Volgende halte is Schaarbeek.
Le prochain arrêt est Schaarbeek.
and no English name and no English announcement. So good luck trying to figure it out. I wish they could be a little bit more friendly towards tourists and provide English names, English announcements. Just make it a little bit easier for English-speaking people to get around the city. After all, we are spending lots of money here in Belgium, contributing to the economy, and I would certainly appreciate being able to use the international language.
Schaarbeek.
Schaarbeek.
Can you pronounce that? This one's not that tough. But if you are reading it and you don't know how to pronounce it, I would say Schaarbeek. A little bit hard to figure it out. And this announcement also on this screen, it's not in English either. But you can kind of see it stops at these stations. You can kind of tell, yeah. Also keep in mind that Google Maps does not work reliably here, especially for trains. It would give you inaccurate information if you're trying to catch a train to a specific station. it's better to use the local transit app, which I believe is called SNCB or something like that. I will leave a link in the video description so you know exactly which app to use when you buy tickets and when you plan your journey.
But they have some vending machine.
Yeah, they have vending machines too if you want to buy tickets that way as well, but it would be more expensive. Should we take a look at the scenery a little bit?
De volgende halte is Brussel Noord.
Le prochain arrêt est Bruxelles Nord.
You know, it's interesting because even in Ukraine, where I come from, they have English announcements, English names for the most part, and it's easy to understand what's going on.
You see they have tables.
Oh, they do have tables. That's pretty cool. Check this out. There's like a little table here. If you want to have a little meal or work on your computer, this is definitely handy. It looks like we are reaching central Brussels. Far we have not been approached to show our valid
Brussel
passes.
Noord.
Bruxelles Nord.
But the last couple of times we were approached right away after boarding, and we were asked to show our valid passes, and the person scanned the QR code, and that's how our fare was validated. Another train passing by. I'm gonna change the seat. The stops are long. If anybody knows why each stop is so long, please leave a comment and let me know in the video description below. I'm really curious. Somebody just gave me this. Not in English either. No English.
De volgende halte is Brussel Congrès.
Le prochain arrêt est Bruxelles Congrès.
I'm sorry, I don't understand the language.
Brussel Congrès.
Bruxelles Congrès.
We are getting off at the next stop.
Girl should put some.
Yeah, I should put some papers. Again, I don't understand the language, but
I think she wants some.
yeah, she's asking for food or money or something like that. And just letting people know, please help or something like that. Did not see that in London. It seems like there are a lot of people with unfortunate destiny in Brussels. We saw also people like that at train stations asking for things. We only been here for a short amount of time so far, so maybe it's just the first impression, but let's see how it goes. And if I were to live here, I would be happy to learn the language. But if I'm only visiting for a couple of weeks, I don't think that is enough time to really learn the language. So as a traveler, I always appreciate it when I feel welcomed with signs in English and information in English. It definitely makes the trip a lot easier and more enjoyable.
De volgende halte is Brussel Centraal.
Le prochain arrêt est Bruxelles Centrale.
You can see BRUX, Central. So BRUX means Brussels, I guess. Ooh. There you go. Oh, we need to press the
Brussel
button.
Centraal.
Okay. There you go. We can film how the train is living, if it's living.
Voie 5, le train IC à destination Anvers Centrale.
Because maybe it's not gonna leave.
De 12h55. Voie 5.
Spoor 5, de IC-trein naar Antwerpen Centraal via Mechelen van 12:55, spoor 5.
Voie 3, changement de voie. Le train IC à destination de Bruxelles Airport Zaventem via Zaventem de 12h56 partira de la voie 5 au lieu de voie 3.
Spoor 3, spoorverandering. De IC-trein naar Brussels Airport Zaventem via Zaventem van 12:56 zal vertrekken van spoor 5 in plaats van spoor 3.
Gleis 3, Gleisänderung. Der IC-Zug nach Brussels Airport Zaventem über Zaventem. Planmäßige Abfahrt 12:56 wird Abfahrt von Gleis 5. Stadt Gleis 3, Track 3, track change. The flow 56 IC train to Brussels Airport Zaventem via Zaventem.
Okay, now I fixed it.
Track 5 instead of track 3.
All right, here we are at Brussels Central Station. It's our first time here. We arrived at Midi Station, and yesterday we went to some other stations, but never came to this station. So we need to figure out where we need to go. But let's take a look at these old school paper schedules. I think it's good to have this. It doesn't hurt. What if your smartphone is dead, or what if you don't have data or something like that? You can still take a look at these schedules and get the information you need. So I think we should thank the management for having these. For still having these in 2025. That's awesome. But the train is standing for so long at each stop. The last stop was the shortest, but all the other stops, I did not do the math, but it felt like it was over 2 minutes at each stop. And I really don't understand why it takes so long. People don't need that long to board the train. Maybe it's letting other trains go first or something, but at every stop, really? If you know what the reason might be, please leave a comment in the video description. All right, here we are in central Brussels, and there are some buses coming in. Iveco buses. I believe Iveco is an Italian brand, if I'm not mistaken. Looks pretty cool. And another one is, I believe it's the exact same one boarding over there. I was playing the bus simulator and driving the exact same bus. It was pretty fun. Okay. We still have about 30 minutes left on our transit pass. So if we see some cool bus or tram, we can transfer and take that. Oh, I do see some signs in English. Tap to pay directly. Okay, good to know. There is a big construction going on over here. I'm still not sure which direction the city center is, or maybe this is the city center. But I can see lots of buses at this station, which is pretty cool. And it's kind of something you would expect at a major train station. I feel like this bus is like extra long. It's usually 18 meters, but this one seems longer. Maybe it just looks like that. Like an extra long. I know that it's a bendy bus, articulated bendy bus, but it seems longer than other bendy buses I've seen. Maybe like instead of 18 meters, maybe it's 20 meters or something like that. It would be interesting to look it up. And it looks like it's hybrid. Cool. Some more buses over here. Interesting color choice, gray with brown. Reminds me a little bit of Las Vegas. And that is what the station looks like. Not as impressive as London's St. Pancras station, but that is a big international station. This one, I guess, is a little bit more local. Whereas the media station, it's more served by international trains. Carrefour? You feel happy to see that store? Yeah, they have this chain in some other countries, but not in London. At least we didn't see that in London, right? But this chain is usually pricier than others, so I usually don't go there anyway. Yeah, I want to actually go and ride the bus, at least for one stop, or a tram. And yeah, we should go in the shade, of course. It is a hot day today, around 30 degrees Celsius in Brussels. And I don't know about you guys, but if I stay, or my partner, if we stay for too long in the open sun, we start feeling a bit tired, which is not something we want. We want to be full of energy exploring the city and everything it has to offer.
Then 180k bike through
And while we are walking here to the central part of Brussels, I want to let you know that as an active traveler and business owner with experience, I might be able to assist you with trip planning, life coaching, and business consulting, with all the details available at buymeacoffee.com/transitnomad, or through the link in the video description below. This is where you can also find lots of exclusive content on many different cities across the globe, my secret tips, PDF guides, and the option to request a custom video on any topic that matters to you. And now it looks like we've reached the historic city center of Brussels, if I'm not mistaken. Certainly seems lively, full of people and full of action. One thing I noticed is that here drivers always stop for pedestrians, which is really appreciated, and it feels so nice and so good. In London, you oftentimes have to kind of cross at your own risk because you don't know if the driver is gonna stop or not, what's gonna happen in the last moment. Here in Brussels, they even before you start crossing, they already slow down and they take a look at you, and they are definitely ready to stop for you, which is so kind. Definitely appreciate that part. Cool. How do you feel now? Now you can feel that we are in the middle of everything, right? But no more buses or trams here? Looks like it's... Yeah. Too many people for transit here. But I mean, that's great. We love pedestrian-friendly areas. It's definitely a great thing. It's very comfortable to explore cities this way without sharing it with cars. My question is, should we try to ride the bus at least a little bit while we have still the path left? So in that case, maybe we should turn around. Because it might be our only chance to try that kind of bus. Wow, this place is cool. Bless you. This is definitely a nice looking market. Very beautiful architecture, and the environment here is pretty cool. And so far, the majority of people seem to be just visitors, and I don't see any like strange activities at this specific location or in this area. So I guess it depends on where you go. I was reading that that area around the Midi station is considered to be a little bit more rough than the rest of the city. Maybe that explains the situation. It's cool how they hung those plants over there. I'm not sure if those are cages for birds or just decorations, but they look pretty cool. Some stores are closed on this specific street. Which explains why it's so quiet, which I like. Crowded areas are also cool, but sometimes it's so nice to have like a little break from everything and from all the noises and all the people on a quiet street like this. Also, it's cool to experience these kind of European streets. Instead of just concrete or asphalt, they use this stones and things like that. It's a little bit harder if you walk a lot. It's a little bit harder to walk on these if you walk for long distances, but it certainly is. It gives you that kind of magic feel of history in Europe. And this is where I see some buses, so hopefully we can get in and ride it a little bit. Let's find a bus stop. Let me know if you see a bus stop, partner. Looks like the lights are not working. I'm not sure if that is on purpose or they are fixing them, but in general it's good because people have the right of way. Might be a little bit annoying for drivers because they have to stop for extended amount of time, but for people, it's definitely, for pedestrians, it's convenient, especially if the drivers stop. If they don't stop, then that would be a problem. Wow, cool little park here. Lots of shade, nice trees. They also use this white thing on the bottom half of the tree, and I believe that is to protect the tree from insects, if I'm not mistaken. I remember they used to do that in the past when I was growing up in Ukraine, and I was wondering, what is that for? And I asked someone and they told me, oh, this is just because we don't want the roaches to damage the tree or something like that. But we did not see that in London, I don't think so, right?
No.
Every city has different strategies to deal with different kinds of issues. That's what I love about traveling and exploring different places and comparing what it's like. Very impressive looking church building. I'm gonna show it to you in a sec because there are lots of trees covering the view, but it certainly is beautiful and definitely worth looking at. Check it out. Pretty cool. Very tall also. Maybe like a 10-story building actually. All right, I see some bus coming. Where's the bus stop? Looks like the bus stop is straight ahead. I hope we can catch that extra long bendy bus. I've also seen some bendy buses that were like triples with 3 separate parts, and that was so cool, with 2 accordions, so 3 parts, 2 accordions connecting them. And that was also at the Belgian station where we came from. I'm not sure if they have that in central Brussels. We'll find out soon enough. Here we have some coaches. I guess that is where they drop people off for exploring the central part of Brussels. So right now we are exploring the city, how people did it back in the day when they didn't have Google Maps. So they would either have a paper map and try to figure it out, or they would just wander around and see where they are and where to go. Maybe ask someone. Oh yeah, I'll follow the tour. But for the most part, I use Google Maps, but right now I'm recording this video, so I don't even know where the bus stop is, because I I can't look at Google Maps. But hopefully it is somewhere in front of us. It looks like a major street. But yeah, just because you see a lot of coaches, it doesn't mean that you're gonna see a lot of city buses at the same location. And yeah, maybe some of you are thinking that I should have taken the bus immediately after getting off the train at the train station. And yeah, maybe I should have done that, but I was so curious to just take a little look around. It's my first time in the city center of Brussels, so I feel excited. I feel itchy to see everything, look at everything, everywhere. Doesn't look like a bus stop to me. And I don't see any bus stops over there either. So now we are getting lost together. And I want to let you guys know that if you want to avoid this kind of situations, it's good to consider my trip planning services, because I get lost myself and I do all this research, and then I make sure that you have a great experience without any moments like this, so you don't waste any of your valuable time. So keep that in mind. I can help you plan a great trip based on your personal interests and preferences, and it can be something very custom and super fun, enjoyable, and unique, tailored specifically for you. Otherwise, you may or may not end up walking on random streets that may or may not be worth it. I think I'm gonna pause the video for a second and take a look at Google Maps. I hope you don't mind. I'll see you in a sec, because we end up somewhere definitely not where we meant to come.